Now, another thing I'm talking about in regards to the financial crisis aspect is most recently, Federal Chairwoman Janet Yellen over the summer mentioned about that we'll never see another financial crisis in our lifetime. If I'm not, quoting that, wrong. So, what are your thoughts about that? I mean, was she using those models that are outdated, or was she just
Yeah,
speaking, off the cuff, or
using,
what do you
she's
think?
using the outdated models, because what those models argue is that capitalism is inherently stable, and the only reason it actually has crises is some exogenous shock, as they call it, hits it from the outside. Like, imagine you're a nice, happy, rocking horse sitting there on the porch, and somebody comes along and slams you with a hammer. Well, if you actually rock backwards and forwards a lot, then it was obviously King Kong who hit you with a hammer. And the people walking along the street, most of them aren't the size of King Kong, so you're not going to get hit that hard again for another 30 years, maybe.
Yeah.
That's the sort of logic she has. When you see it as something which is systemic, and it's actually the internal dynamics of capitalism that gives you this position, then there will be another financial crisis if those conditions recur. And those conditions are fundamentally a rising level of private debt, where that debt's already very high compared to GDP. Now, that rules out America for a crisis, but not for the reasons Janet Yellen thinks. But it rules in countries like China, Australia, Canada, South Korea, Belgium, Norway, Sweden, all of who managed to avoid the crisis back in 2007 by borrowing their way through it. So Yellen doesn't have a clue, frankly, and I'm going to be rather rude here. She actually gave a speech at the Levy Institute in upstate New York, which is where Hyman Minsky did his final years of research. And in one of those papers, she quotes Minsky. Now, I had a good look at what she had to say. Mm-hmm. And what she did was she grabbed the very first reference that turned up in a boring search of the Minsky archives. It was a working paper, which was a pretty crappy working paper by Minsky, frankly, and that's all the understanding she had. Now, if she can read, if she truly understood Hyman Minsky's work, to come along and say there'll never be another crisis like this because it's an exogenous shock, no. Endogenous, it'll happen again.